Hi, I want to talk about freedom a little bit. And first of all, I want to say, if men too much talk about how good is he, how free is he, and how, I don't know, enlightened I guess, I don't know, is he, then probably this all at least lie, but most probable it's a hypocrisy. In modern day society, in modern day world, are you really free? Are you free?
Приготовьтесь к повороту направо.
You see, in modern day world, you not free at all, and never
Поверните
was.
направо.
Maybe American people talk too much about freedom exactly because they are not free, and they simply trying to convince themselves that they are free, because they are not. You're not free to go wherever you want. You're not free to do whatever you want. You're not free to say whatever you want, because there is always limits. To leave your country, you need ask for permission from your government. To say whatever you like, you can be sued, prosecuted by your government, or let's say by other people, but by means of the government judicial system. To do whatever you want. I'm not very much sure that you doing whatever you want, because mostly, like, let's say 90% of what you do is totally marketed to you. Goods you buy, stuff you buy, job you do, etc. It's either marketed or forced to you.
Приготовьтесь к повороту налево.
And this is the same for any society. If you say I am free
Поверните налево.
to go wherever I want, right? I am free to cross the border of my country. You're not. You need permission from your government, and to pay for this permission you have to work. And what is work? Is work freedom, or I don't know. I don't think that you're free. I don't think that we are free in any way, shape or form. We people, modern people. As it was, I don't know, 7,000 years ago, so it stays now. We are not free. We never was free. We never were free. We simply slaves of the system that in place. It doesn't really matter which country do you live in, you're not free. And this concept that I am free to do whatever I want, I live in the best country in the world, and this is, I don't know, this notion is like people trying to convince themselves in the first place that it's true, and after trying to convince everybody else that it's true, because in the world of slaves you really need to push this agenda, this propaganda piece that you are free. You are free after all. It's not like you simply leave and you know that you are free. It's not like simply you are okay with concept of freedom and you don't even care and you don't talk about this concept because you free. So why should you talk about this that much? But no, in American society, from I don't know, from every corner, everyone making sure to remind you that you are free. Our freedom, our values, our democracy, even if USA is not democratic country, it's literally republic, because it's rule of less people. I don't know, minority, rule of minority. What minority will say, that everyone will do. You limited by the laws, by the rules, by the societal, how it called, I don't know, social contract, by taxes, you paying taxes, and yet you trying to make assumption, or I don't know, you trying to convince yourself that you are free. You are not. You are slave of the system that in place. It doesn't matter which system it is. You are slave of the system. You are property of your government. You can't live without permission. You can't, I don't know, do whatever you like. And if you do whatever you like, as you think, mostly I will say probably 99% of the cases, it's either targeted to you, or this opportunity is given to you by other people, or even though, I don't know, how many people really want to work. It's like the job in McDonald's. Who wants a job in McDonald's? Really? Who wants the job in McDonald's? Raise your hand and proudly say, I love to work for Ron, or for KFC, or for Burger King, for that matter. I'm proud worker of fast food. How many of you? And yet you have to pay taxes, you have to buy stuff, consume, you have to do many things that you don't want or don't like. You have to pay out the debt for your house, but in the same time, even though population of United States is growing, even though, yet I really think that baby boomers, since baby boomers, there was sold enough
Приготовьтесь к повороту
houses
направо.
to make housing for everyone, and yet
Поверните направо.
they force you to buy a new house, a new car, a new stuff, I don't know, consume goods, consume drugs, etc. Consume even guns. You are not in any shape or form free. It really doesn't matter how many times you will repeat that our freedom, I am free, I don't know, freedom. It doesn't matter how many times you will talk about democracy. It really doesn't matter. Once again, what matters is facts, and facts say that American citizens are not free in any shape or form. Of course, there is no country in the world where citizens can really say that they are free, or can really think that they are free. There is no country like this. There was one country, but it no longer exists. So when you trying to repeat this mantra that I am free, our freedom, democracy, our values, etc., probably it makes me, at least it makes me think, right? And I guess many thoughtful persons, that you repeat this mantra to convince yourself, and other people repeat this mantra to
Держитесь
convince
правее, затем съезд справа.
themselves
Съезд
that they
справа.
are free, that they can
Двигайтесь
do
прямо.
whatever they want, etc.
Держитесь правее.
Because reality say otherwise. You are not free in any shape or form. You can be prosecuted for what you say. You can be prosecuted for not paying the taxes, for example, not obeying the law, rules, etc.
Держитесь левее.
Is this your concept of freedom, that you can be prosecuted for everything? Of course there's limits, and this is not absolute freedom, etc. And yet, are you really free? And why do you think that you are free? Is there any
Держитесь
reasons
правее, затем
to make
съезд
you
справа.
think that you are free, etc.?
Съезд справа.
You're trying to convince yourself mostly, and convince everybody else that you're right. After all, this American mentality, when I am right because I am American and you wrong because you live in your country, and you dare not to know your country, know how your country live, I don't know, better than
Держитесь
me.
левее,
right?
затем поверните налево.
When American trying to teach
Поверните налево.
other people, other nations, other country citizens, how bad or good is their country? Why do you even care? And situation with Hong Kong, like 70 years in Hong Kong there was no democracy, but right now it's suddenly very important question,
Приготовьтесь к повороту направо.
right? Very important
Поверните
question
направо,
for some
затем
reason
поверните налево.
for America, and I don't know why. Well, thanks anyway that watching, and think twice.